You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Wyln released a statement to its Hazelton customers after a Monday night fire severely damaged the building. The company said that the Hazelton store is temporarily closed as crews work on the cleanup process. Wyln is currently looking to relocate the store's pharmacy to a temporary location that it hopes to reopen over the next few weeks. Pharmacy customers are reminded that they can have their prescriptions filled at any Wyln pharmacy or call 1-866-999-9347. Wyln also has store locations in Mountaintop, Berwick, Bloomsburg, Pottsville, Nanticoke, and Dallas. Wyln went on to say that they're grateful to the West Hazelton Fire Department and other area fire companies for the rapid response and are grateful that no one was seriously injured. They're also working to reassign store employees to nearby locations. Senator John Udicic and State Representative Doyle Hefley announced that the Hazelton area will be receiving Redevelopment Capital Assistance Program funds. Over $4 million will be distributed in order to bolster economic growth in Luzerne County. Lehigh Valley Health Network will receive $1 million in RCAP funds to upgrade healthcare infrastructure in the greater Hazelton area. The Hazelton Creek Commerce Center was awarded $2 million for a commercial and industrial warehouse project in both Hazelton and Hazel Township. Little Leaf Farms Incorporated also secured over $1.4 million for a proposed lettuce production facility in the Mcadoo Industrial Park, which, according to Hefley, will create family-sustaining jobs and help broaden the county's tax base. A Hazelton man pled guilty to allegedly soliciting sex from a minor. Kingston police charged 35-year-old Oliverio Cortez Perez after having online communications with what he thought was a 15-year-old girl, who was actually an undercover officer. Cortez Perez initiated contact with the girl back on March 26th and was arrested when he set up a meeting with her at the Wyoming Valley Mall. He was scheduled to go on trial Tuesday, but instead pled guilty Monday to charges of unlawful contact with a minor and criminal use of a communication facility. He remains locked up at Luzerne County Prison without bail and is scheduled to be sentenced on March 10th. Authorities are still on the hunt for a Shenandoah man accused of killing a Hazelton man back in October. 36-year-old Santonio Pierre Malone allegedly shot and killed 33-year-old Juan Carlos Romero on October 24th at the R Music 21 Lounge in Mahanoy City. 29-year-old Alorfi Vladimir Ramirez was also seriously injured during the shooting. Malone faces charges of first and third-degree murder, aggravated assault, simple assault, and recklessly endangering another person. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to call 570-874-5300 for State Police at Frackville or contact PA Crime Stoppers. All calls will remain confidential. The Scranton Police Department is asking for any information regarding the whereabouts of a missing woman. Police say that 37-year-old Angel Ashley O'Hara was last seen on November 26th in Scranton. She's described as a white female standing at 5'8", with brown eyes and brown hair, and was last seen wearing a green and white-colored spider jacket, black leggings, camouflage boots, and carrying a military camouflage backpack. O'Hara is also known to stay at various homeless camps in the Scranton area. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is being asked to contact Scranton Police Detective Jen Garrity at 570-348-4139 or leave a tip on the Scranton Police Tip Line. Pennsylvania State Police are in search of a missing teenage boy. Police say that 14-year-old Nathan Fulmer of Hickory Lane in Tamaqua was last seen with a blue and orange mountain bike carrying 2 book bags filled with clothes. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to contact State Police at Frackville by calling 570-874-5300. A major outage severely disrupted Amazon Web Services Tuesday at a wide range of companies across the U.S. The incident impacted everything from airline reservations and auto dealerships to payment apps and video streaming services. AWS acknowledged that Amazon's own warehouse and delivery operations were also affected, but said it was, quote, working to resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Roughly 5 hours after numerous companies and organizations began reporting issues, the company then said that it, quote, mitigated the underlying problem responsible for the outage, but didn't go into detail as to what the problem was. The cloud service operation holds roughly a third of the $152 billion market for cloud services, a larger share than its closest rivals, Microsoft and Google, combined. Pfizer announced that its booster dose of their COVID-19 vaccine could add extra protection against the new Omicron variant. Although 2 doses is the recommended amount when getting the vaccine, Pfizer found that 2 doses might not be enough to prevent infection. There's some speculation by scientists that the 3rd dose could possibly be enough to take on any decrease in effectiveness. Pfizer is currently working on another vaccine that's specific to the Omicron variant, if needed. Penndot's hosting an on-demand virtual meeting next week regarding the I-80 Nescopec Creek Bridges project. Penndot will be providing information, answering questions, and taking comments on the bridge tolling project through the Penndot Pathways Major Bridge Public-Private Partnership Initiative. The project will focus on improving traffic flow and safety while extending the life of existing infrastructure, as the current I-80 Nescopec Creek bridges in Luzerne County no longer meet today's design standards. Comments on this project will be accepted throughout the meeting, which ends at 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, December 15th. Comments can be submitted on penndot.gov/I-80Nescopec, by emailing i80nescopec@pa.gov, or by calling 570-218-3559. Pennsylvania's Attorney General is calling on lawmakers to increase funding in order to recruit and retain police officers. Wyln's Julie Stefanovich has more on the story.
Attorney General Josh Shapiro made a stop in Altoona yesterday to address the issue of police staffing shortages. Shapiro has called on the legislature to set aside funding to provide an immediate response to the situation. He said that the state faces a challenge, and if action isn't taken soon, it could lead to a crisis.
I've been to some departments where they're competing against one another because they can't simply get the necessary resources to pay those officers. And we've seen too many good people who could have a good career in law enforcement look the other way because they simply can't afford the training necessary to go into law enforcement.
Shapiro previously asked the legislature to appropriate nearly $29 million in funding that would go to the retention and recruitment of local police officers throughout the state.
I just want to renew my call to the lawmakers in this region that it's time to invest in local policing, that now is the time to make these critical investments so that we can have good, safe communities all across Pennsylvania.
Another issue with the staffing shortage is that the pool of applicants has been declining over the past few years.
We are all on the same page that we've got to invest in the next generation of policing. We do that in part through finding more dollars available, and we do it in part by making sure that we're having an honest dialogue with the citizenry about the importance of policing and about the noble profession that it is.
The Attorney General talked about making finances go further by initiating solutions such as regionalization.
It's something that I think we in the state level want to incentivize those conversations, make sure that local elected leaders and people in the community know that they're not losing something, but actually they would be gaining something through that process. But the other thing that we candidly talked about is making sure that we are investing in things that bring the police and the community closer together to deal with some of the stigmas associated with policing today.
Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on Wyln News, more on the VA's upcoming virtual town hall meeting, plus how to have yourself a merry little Christmas at the Wiltsey. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Alexander Bonomo. I'm 12 years old, and tomorrow's Wyln forecast is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
M&J Excavation, serving the area with quality and dependable home heating oil with competitive pricing. Also on and off-road oil delivery for your heavy equipment. They also provide paving and excavation services. 570-233-1898.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton. 570-454-7229.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
The Wilkes-Barre VA Medical Center will be holding a virtual community town hall meeting next week. I'll interact with the VA using the live chat feature during the broadcast. The Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center will be hosting the 16th annual Sounds of the Seasons Let's Celebrate. Doors open at 6 for the 7 p.m. concert this Saturday, December 11th. The event will feature the renowned Hazelton Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra under the direction of Robert Lagana, with special performances by the Fabergé Follies, the Cougar Crooners, and featured soloists. Tickets are $10 each and all seating is general admission. Tickets can be purchased through any orchestra or dance member and will be available at the door the night of. Regardless of vaccination status, masking and social distancing will be observed during the performance. We'll see you at the Wiltsey. 1224 will also be performing at the Wiltsey Center this month. The high-energy, full-scale Holiday Rock Orchestra will be performing next Friday, December 17th. Show starts at 8, but the lobby will be open to the public from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. with local crafters and businesses. Interested vendors can email wiltseydirector@gmail.com or message the Wiltsey Center at the Historic Castle Facebook page. Tickets will be sold at Boscov's in the Laurel Mall for $25 each, or online at eventbrite.com. Masking and social distancing will be observed during the performance regardless of vaccination status. Visit wiltseycenter.org or their Facebook page or call 570-455-5863 for the details. Coming up on Boston Run's News Choice, we discuss the Omicron variant on this Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton. Everything to make your house a home.
Hey guys, tune in this week to Let's Talk Chiropractic. Dr. Alex, Sarah, and myself. Let's talk about, she's new in this town. We had a spiritual connection. She'll show you how we think we try to be the best office in this town. So come in and see what we're all about.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Wyln presents a high-energy holiday rock orchestra concert featuring holiday music as well as their own holiday creations. Inspired by the music and stage presentation of some of music's greatest rock orchestras, this group delivers. See them at the Wiltsey Center, 700 North Wyoming Street in Hazelton, Friday, December 17th at 8 p.m. Get your tickets online at wiltseycenter.org. Tickets are now on sale for the annual Sounds of the Season concert at the Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center in Hazelton. Ring in the holidays with performances by the Hazelton Philharmonic Orchestra under the direction of Robert Lagana, Fabergé Follies, and the Hazelton Area High School Cougar Crooners. General admission tickets are just $10. Sounds of the Season, December 11th, is sponsored by these local businesses.
And welcome to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Julie Wiegand, and today we are on location at the Destin Center to talk with Dr. Jody Lenko once again. First of all, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, not a problem. I know you're busy. But we are back again with Dr. Lenko to talk about another variant. It is the Omicron variant. Now, Dr. Lenko, how does this variant compare to prior variants, and keeping in mind that those variants are still out there?
Right. So I think that's the really important point. The most important point, what you just said, is that the Delta variant is actually still the predominant variant in the United States. So that is probably 99.9% of the cases we're seeing right now. Omicron, however you'd like to say it, either are correct, is probably going to have a bigger impact. We don't know how quickly. We don't know when. We know it's here in the United States, but still the majority of COVID tests that are coming back positive are still from the Delta strain. So that's an important point to note. And there's a lot of information that we just don't know yet about Omicron. We think it's probably more contagious. Nobody's sure exactly why that is. If it's that it just is a more contagious strain because of its mutations, or if it's because it's evading the immune response. We're not sure yet. So a lot of information is still out there, and I think we're still waiting to kind of find out more information about Omicron.
And it's going to feel like a broken record at this point, but what are the best ways to avoid all that altogether?
Right. So what we're encouraging people to do is to, one, if you have not gotten your vaccine, get your vaccine as soon as possible. Second thing, if you're due for your booster, if you're over 6 months out from your Pfizer or your Moderna vaccine, it's really important to get your booster now. And third, if you're 2 months out of your Johnson & Johnson, you can now get your booster. That's going to be the best way to protect against all strains that we're aware of right now. Even if it's not perfectly protected against protecting you from getting infected, it will definitely help in protecting you from getting severely ill. So that's the most important thing. And then masks. Masks, hand washing, all those things, avoiding large crowds, and then reaching out to your healthcare provider when you're sick. Right now, we're seeing lots of colds, lots of upper respiratory infections, and honestly, we're testing a lot of people for COVID. We're testing people for influenza. We're testing people for a lot of things. So if you're not sure what's going on, reach out to your healthcare provider.
And with that, I know that things aren't very walk-in anymore. So scheduling for your vaccine, scheduling for your booster, scheduling for even a test. So within LVHN at least.
Right. We still do have a walk-in site available for our testing clinic down on in downtown Hazelton on Sherman Court. But you're right. Most of the facilities are asking you that you schedule a vaccine or a booster, just so that they know that they have the personnel available to give you the booster shot or the vaccine. And that's what we're asking you to do at the hospital in Lehigh Valley, Hazelton. But the vaccines are readily available, so now is the time to do it. Ages 5 and up for Pfizer, so even children. We're seeing a lot of cases in kids in the schools right now too. Again, kids are less likely to get severely ill, but they can get sick, and it can knock them down for a week or two. So it's really important that kids over the age of 5 also get vaccinated.
All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up with big takeaways about Omicron, the variants that are still out there, Delta being predominant, vaccines, boosters, you name it.
Right, so I think the biggest thing is not Omicron is a variant, it's a concern, but no reason to panic. Nobody wants to panic over this. We're taking this in stride. We have a lot more information to come. We're seeing how this plays out across the world. Just be patient as we continue to learn more about this strain. It does appear to be more contagious, so more of a reason to wear a mask, keep your hands washed, stay away from large indoor crowds, things like that. And then just keep your, healthcare providers in touch with you, and whatever we can do to kind of keep everybody healthy.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, Dr. Lenko gave us the tips on, obviously, avoiding COVID altogether. Get your vaccine if you haven't gotten it. If you're due for a booster, you should really consider getting one. And if you are experiencing any types of symptoms, whether it is influenza symptoms, cold symptoms, COVID symptoms, you name it, talk to your healthcare provider. Make sure you get tested for whatever it could be, because we all want to stay safe this winter season. So thank you for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on Wyln.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton. Everything to make your house a home.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazelton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Pat Ward's leading the way into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Pat Ward from the United Way. Pat, for those who may not know, can you explain the role you play as president and CEO of the United Way of Greater Hazelton?
Well, there's a lot to it, and I'm happy to say that we have a great staff that supports me. We have a great board that supports what we do. So it's not as hard as one would think, but it's very challenging. My principal job, I guess you can say, is to raise money so we can support the 20 agencies in our United Way and also the programs that the United Way itself sponsors in the community. So I'm the face of the United Way, the voice, if you will, in the community, but I also have to relate to our member agencies. I relate to the clients of some of the member agencies, the community at large. I relate to people in the business and industry that are our United Way supporters. And the list, there's other assigned duties, as they say. So it's really a little bit of everything, and that includes occasionally getting a truck and doing the actual pickup and delivery of the food for the holiday meals, myself with a helper. So it's a wide-ranging area of responsibility, Tracy.
Okay. It's certainly important to have a good team behind you working with you.
I have the best team in the world. We have a very small staff. If I can mention them for a second, Mary Jane Ricco is our agency relations director. Cheryl DiSabella is our marketing public relations person, and Donna Jane Yanuzzi handles our finances. So we're very small staff. There's a lot of work to be done. We all cross boundaries, and nobody ever says that's not my job in our shop.
Right. Good. How many local organizations benefit from the United Way, and where does the funding come from?
Well, the funding comes from our annual campaign, which has been an increasing challenge over the past couple of years, especially now in the COVID world that we live in. There are 20 agencies that are members of our United Way, and that's a wide range of health and human services that we touch 2.5 people out of every 10 in our community right now.
Check back tomorrow night as Pat Ward continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.